I'm Juliet Trevaskis, a professional poo picker and long-term owner of Bert, who has been my best friend and my absolute super hunter. So I've hunted him 2-3 days a week, loves it, very passionate about it. We do fun rides. We have dabbled in the odd bit of dressage, but it's not our strongest point. Low level bit of show jumping, but hunting is his passion. About a couple of years ago, sadly noticed that his demeanour was going down, and I thought it was age related because he's about 21 now. Intermittent lameness was one of the issues out hacking. He has always had a very good appetite. Still had it, but was losing condition. We had the vets out, I'd had my chiropractor out, I'd had the farrier, we tried pads on his feet. When he was hunting, I noticed he was very nappy away from other horses, which is unlike him. And if I hacked to a meet with someone, he would not leave their side. Coming up to the end of hunting, I always have kept him going, but the lameness was getting worse. So again, we got the vets involved again, taking bloods. They thought he had stomach ulcers. He lost all the hair in his face, ulcerated round his mouth, would stand with his head on the ground. So I stopped riding him for about 7 weeks. The vets wanted to have him scoped because the last alternative was an MRI, and I was like, I'm not spending that money on an MRI. We tried every drug, everything. They gave him various probiotics. He was scoped, no stomach ulcers. Vets were at a loss. Having talked to someone else, they were like, oh, I've just been in touch. I've got a horse with ulcers. You need to speak to this lady, Christine Campbell from Philio. And she said, asked a bit of background, and I said I packed up hunting and he's just gone downhill. And she said, has he had any trauma in his life? I was like, no. And she was like, are you sure nothing's happened? I was like, yeah. I said, well, a few months ago he lost his stablemate. And she was like, have you ever heard of a horse being depressed?
Based on human research from the microbiome, we know that there's a clear connection between the microbiome and the brain, known as the gut-brain axis. There's specific metabolites produced from the microbes in the gut that are clearly linked to depression, anxiety, addiction and behaviour in humans, and mood as well. We decided to feed Actisaf at 10 grams per day to see if we could influence the gut-brain axis for Bert. Although this research hasn't been done in horses, it is in the very early stages. They're starting to look into it. We thought it was worth a try to see if we could improve Bert's mood and behaviour.
During the conversation, Christine explained how the hindgut and the microbiome and the brain all worked. We talked about it because I'd never really heard about depression in horses. She said, it'd be worth a go, try the Actisaf and Safmannan. And Christine said, give it 2 to 3 weeks. Any concerns, ring me. And the 2 scoops is the high dose. Well, I was like, throw it at him. I've got nothing to lose. And within 3 days, I had a different horse. Sound, wanting to be exercised, being his bolshy self, forward going. 2 years ago, out hunting, my vet came up to me and said, oh my God, I can't believe you've replaced him so well. How have you replaced Bert with something identical? I was like, this is Bert? And she was like, no. And I was like, yeah, this is Bert. So I've kept him on it ever since. And it's really thanks to Christine and everyone else's help. I would say that the Actisaf has kept him alive.